All right, on to multiplying bigger two-digit numbers by a one-digit number. So this one, 20 times 8. Now normally what people will teach is you do 8 times 0 first, and you get 0, and then 8 times 2, and that's 16, and you write down the 16. So with Cuisenaire Rods, what we're going to do is we can still say, if you want, that you're going to do 8 times 0, because basically you have 0 ones over here. So you have 8 of nothing, or you have no 8s here. So that is nothing. And then what you do is 8 times 2 tens, or 20. So here is 20, right? We have 10 and 10 on this side. And on this side, we have 8. So 8 times 2 tens is 16 tens, or 160. So children may just skip this part because they'll understand that you don't even have to think about 8 times 0 at all. You can just think about 8 times 2 tens, and the 0 is a placeholder. So if they understand that, don't make them do this step first. But it's still fine to teach that step if you feel like you need to do that. So for this one, 21 times 4, first we're going to do 1 times 4. We have a rectangle here with 1 on that side and 4 on that side, and altogether that is 4. Okay? And then we're going to do 4 times 20. We have, I'll write it over here, 4 on this side, and we have 20. All of that is 20, 10 and 10. So 4 times 20, or you can say 4 times 2 tens, and that is 80. So we can put an 8 in the tens place, and that represents having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tens, or 80. So our answer is 84. 26 times 6. So the first thing we're going to do is the 6 times 6 portion for the algorithm. So 6 times 6 is 36. So let's trade our 6 6s for 30 and 6, right? So that way I can write down my 6 here. I'll put it down here. And I will bring my 3 tens up here with the tens. Okay, put it up here. And then I'm going to multiply 6 times 20, because there's 6 on this side and 20 along this side. So 6 times 2 tens would be 12 tens. And then I have these 3 more tens. 6 times 2 tens, 12 tens, plus 3 more tens is 15 tens. So 156. And if your kids want to, so they can even see it more clearly, they can trade 10 tens for 100, and then they can actually see 156 there. All right, so when we get into larger numbers in the tens place, a lot of times it's easier to draw the symbols, or I'm sorry, to draw representations of the Cuisenaire rods instead of actually using them. So each one of these lines represents a 10, okay? So we have 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. We have 32 on this side. And then we have 1, 2 on this side of our rectangle. So we still have a rectangle here, 32 on one side and 2 on the other. And that is represented by symbols here, 32 times 2. So the first part we do is 2 times 2. That's right here. We have 2 of 2, and that's just 4. Okay. And then we do 2 times 3 tens. So we have 1, 2 times 3 tens here. And that would be 6 tens altogether. So we write a 6 in the tens place, and we have 64. All right, here's an even larger one, 45 times 8. One way you could represent it is with all the lines that represent each 10. So I have 8 tens here, and then I've drawn 1, 2, 3, 4 across. So that's 40 across and 8 down. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across and 8 down. So my total across is 45, and my total down is 8. That's 45 times 8. The other way you could represent that is even more abstract. You could draw a box and label 40 on this side and 8 on that side, and 5 on this side and 8 on that side. Another thing you could do is this box could be in place of all these little tiny dots, and that might be a good transitioning step from this to this and eventually to just using this. So whichever way you and your students are comfortable with is the way you should go with that. So first thing we do is 8 times 5. So that is 8 here times 5 across. Or if you're looking at this one, 8 up, 5 across. And that is 40. And in fact, I'm just going to label it 40. And so we put down our 0 because we have 0 ones. And we have 4 tens that we're just going to keep in mind right now, but we're not going to put it down in our answer yet. So there is our 0 ones and our 4 tens for the 5 times 8. The next thing we do is 8 times our 4 tens, or 8 times 40. So that's 8 here going up, and that's 40 across, or 4 tens across. And if you're looking here, 8 on this side, 40 on this side. So 8 times 4 tens is how many tens? That would be 32 tens. So 32 tens is the same as 320. And then I need to add the 320 plus my 4 tens from before. So that would be 360, or 36 tens. And so I will write that down there. So the answer is 360. All right, last one for this video, 74 times 5. The first way that you can draw it is this top way, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 74. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going down or up, whichever way you want to see that. So 74 times 5 here, or you can draw a big long box to represent 70 times 5 and a little box to represent the 4 times 5. So you still have 74 times 5, the two sides of your rectangle. So the first thing you're going to do is 5 times 4. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4. That's this little section right here, or here, 5 times 4, and that is 20. So we have 0 ones there, and we're just going to put the 2 up there to remind us that we are going to need to add those 2 tens at the end. And then the next step you do is 5 times 7 tens. So 5 of 7 tens would be 35 tens, or 5 times 70, 350. 350 there. So 35 tens plus 2 more tens is 37 tens. So we put that so that the 7 is in the tens place. And again, children should understand that 37 tens is the same as 370. That 30 tens would be 300. 37 tens would be 370. That's an important step to know before you do these types of problems. So do lots of practice with those before this. So anyways, we have added our 2 tens, got 370, and that is our answer.